Hey everybody, Neil Thompson, founder of Teach the Geek here. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, as every bit helps. Picture that you're giving a technical presentation and afterwards you get feedback from a whole bunch of sources. Well, what do you do with all that feedback? You may very well be overwhelmed by it. Here are some things to consider. Number one, you want to prioritize which feedback you take in first and try to do something with. For instance, if you got feedback from a coworker or feedback from a boss, whose feedback are you going to take more seriously? I'd say it's the boss, because that person has the ability to help you in moving your career forward, as opposed to your colleague, which, well, not so much. They may very well say something that you find useful, but if you push that ahead of what you think of what your boss says that you should do, well, maybe you might not get the outcomes that you hope for at that job. So I'm a big fan of prioritizing, making a list of the people whose feedback is most important to implement. Number two, you actually want to execute it. So it's one thing to take it in and think it's a good idea to do. Another thing altogether to actually work on it. So if your boss says you need to work on, let's say eye contact with the audience, you look down at the ground a lot. It's really difficult to engage with people when they're not looking at the audience. Well, then that's something to actually do. So now actually work on making eye contact with the audience. And then number three is seeking feedback about the feedback. So for instance, if your boss is the one who told you to improve the eye contact, well, then at every presentation not every, but at presentations afterwards, ask him or her whether the eye contact is any better. It's difficult for us to gauge that ourselves without the feedback from the people who gave us the feedback in the first place. So those are the three things that I would suggest you do if you're getting feedback from a bunch of different places on your presentations. Number one, you want to prioritize which feedback you take in first. And I suggest taking in the feedback of the people who are most important, the decision makers, the bosses, bosses, that type of thing. And then number two, you want to actually execute on whatever the feedback is and try to do as best a job you can in getting better at whatever that feedback is. And then three, you want to seek feedback from the people who gave you that feedback in the first place to see if you actually improved or are improving. Hopefully that helps. Again, my name is Neil Thompson. I'm the founder of Teach the Geek. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, as every bit helps. Thanks and have a great day.